if memory serves, November 17th of 2016 would have been 10 days after the election of 2016. And I'm looking right now. It says JP Morgan's investment bank in Hong Kong agrees to pay $72 million penalty for corrupt hiring scheme in China. This is 10 days after the election. This is 10 days after somebody who claims she was entitled to get elected didn't get elected. And so JP Morgan had to pay $72 million from Hong Kong. Is that because JP Morgan from Hong Kong had pledged $72 million to the success of her getting elected president? It's that literal a question. And when they asked, are you going to vote for her? Are you going to vote for her? And I said no. That 10 days later, the executive compensation bonus went to who? Let me just ask you a question. If the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of New York ends up being able to put out a press release on $72 million penalty from JP Morgan via Hong Kong, does that mean that $72 million went to the Eastern District of New York? Is that opposed to the Southern District of New York? Is that opposed to the Federal Department of Justice? I'm just asking. It says financial fraud. Let me ask you. If you're able to get a $72 million kickback for financial fraud, does that mean that some little girl like me that's homeless and on the streets trying to report financial fraud just doesn't measure up? If I am correct, is not, I just want to make sure I get this correct. What is 12 times 5? That's 60. What is 12 times 6? That's 72. So that is 6 times the metric, the risk penalty metric that was given to me by another bank after I tried to report on crime involving fraud. So were they able to leverage that $500 line of credit they gave me in August for a $72 million kickback? 1, 2, 3 months later? 3 months later, $500 turned into $72 million. And not a goddamn fucking person has talked to me since. Just so you know, I saw what happened that night that Hong Kong issued that bond deal for China. I saw it. I literally saw it real time as it was happening. And you wanted me to believe it was going through an account connected to Donald Trump, using my murdered grandfather's estate. You really are going to need to clarify that, because I think you have this press release characterized under the wrong impeachment proceedings.